we just chew the cud really on a Sunday after. Al from Al's Kitchen is going to join us soon, actually, next 5 or 10 minutes. If you haven't seen him in the next song, just go and have a quick Google on YouTube. He's absolutely brilliant. And if you've tried to make Indian food at home, as I have in years gone by, not from jars, from scratch, and they're all right. You follow the recipe, but it tastes a bit. You can taste the spices are still sort of powdery, and it's just nowhere near as good as authentic Indian food or ordering a takeaway where people know what they're doing. It's not as good. But Al, I'll tell you, 100% you can make it at home, healthily as well, and it tastes exactly like your takeaway. It's not a fake away, it is your takeaway. It's brilliant. And Al's going to join us very, very shortly. Let's get some Molly with you on a Sunday afternoon. Keen on the way, All Saints and the Communards as well. 20 minutes past 5 now. Oh, I'm so excited about our next guest who has revolutionised meal times in the Green household. I've been, since lockdown, especially if you've been listening to me on a Saturday night, I have talked extensively about YouTube. YouTube is my friend. And I just go down wormholes and I find all sorts of stuff. And it's just been such an outlet for me in lockdown, YouTube. In fact, my husband came across this on YouTube, and that's Al's Kitchen. And we're about to speak to Al off of Al's Kitchen about making curries. Oh my goodness. It's like life-changing watching Al on YouTube. My other half, my husband, has spent hours and hours learning to perfect base gravies and watching the YouTube videos. And if you love your Indian food, and I know it's eased now and we've got the takeaways, but if you've missed your Indian and tried to do it at home, and as I said earlier on, try as you may, if you haven't got the skill, it doesn't quite taste right. I don't know about you, when I try, the powdery spices don't infuse. My husband now calls Al's Kitchen, and I've written it down. He told me as I drove off in the car this afternoon, he said, "Can you thank Al for the complexity of taste and the taste cohesion?" So let me just, before I introduce Al, give you a little taster from one of his YouTube videos. By the way, these get millions and millions of hits. You'll know why if you watch one.
Welcome back to Al's Kitchen. This week, something, again, really special. Now, if you're new to the channel and you don't know who I am, my name's Al, and predominantly what I do is teach you how to make Indian restaurant-style curries at home. You know, the curries that you have on a Friday and Saturday night, your madras, your boonas, your vindaloos, your doppiazas, your kormas, your jalfrezes, your baltis. Yeah, all of those. Anyway, so I teach you how to cook those in a similar style to how they make in Indian restaurants. And what you will notice if you've been following me, the principal or fundamental ingredient is the base gravy.
Your owners. Oh, I love this man. And I'm so pleased to say he's spending a few minutes with us now on BBC Radio WM. Al, a very warm Sunday welcome.
Hi there. Thanks for having me on the show. It's great to be here.
Well, first of all, thank you, because I know you're not even at home. You're on a little mini break in Brighton, so taking the time off your all-important break away to speak to us as well.
Yeah, well, we never know when we're going to get the beach these days, what with COVID, and Brighton's not too far from me, an hour's drive, so the weather's good, a few beers on the beach.
What's the beach been like? Has it been ram-packed or has it been okay?
It's not been ram-packed. It was busy yesterday, but people have been, by and large, responsible. People are spacing out. I think when you get one of those profile shots you get on the news, it looks like everybody's sitting on top of one another. It's really not like that.
Well, that's good. That's good. Everyone being sensible. Brighton, fabulous place. Fabulous place.
Yeah.
Right, so, where do we even start? Well, firstly, I think you might have just heard me say my husband wants to thank you for the taste cohesion and complexity of taste.
That's okay. Molly, that was a brilliant intro, by the way. I think my job's done.
See you then. I'll let you I'll let you get on with your Brighton holiday.
All right.
Well, let's start with your passion for your boonas and your doppiazas. I take it you have always loved the taste of Indian food, have you?
Yeah, I mean, it was always my takeaway of choice. I just love curry, different types of curries. And I've eaten curries up and down the country. But somewhere along my journey, Molly, I started to ask questions like, why is the jalfrezi in London different to the one in Manchester? And why is the dansak up north have a piece of pineapple on it, but the ones down south don't? And by and large, why do curries we eat in restaurants taste like the curries that we do from recipe books. And so then I was on a mission, and I found the answers.
Which are in and on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, if I was to sum up, it's base gravy. We've been eating base gravy all along, and that's what's missing from our recipe books. You need an aluminium frying pan, or at least a frying pan where the gravy sticks and caramelizes. And you need mixed powder, which is restaurants' own curry powder. It's not essential, but it goes a long way into producing amazing tasting curries that you're used to from your takeaway.
And I can wholeheartedly underline that last sentence. When my husband first made it, and I thought, yeah, it is going to taste like a homemade curry. And when that first mouthful went into my mouth, my little leg was just like, like when a dog enjoys something, when you scratch that spot, my leg was like, oh my God, it is just the best curry I have ever tasted. And to produce that at home. What curry was it?
Was it a dance?
It began with an F.
Ooh, an F.
Oh God! If my husband's listening, quickly WhatsApp me. It definitely began with an F, and it was a name I hadn't heard before.
Oh, I can't think myself. Top of my head.
It was lovely though, whatever it was. And you talk about this base gravy. So this is the key. Talk to me about base gravy. You say that this is what Indian restaurants have as a base for most dishes.
That's right. So there are as many versions of base gravy as there are chefs or restaurants, but predominantly it's boiled onions, ginger garlic, green pepper, red pepper, carrot, some pot potato in it, some pot condensed milk in it. But they differ from restaurant to restaurant. But as long as you've got your onions, your chilli, your garlic, your peppers, your carrot, you're basically making like an onion soup, which, by the way, doesn't taste great at the end. But that is the first stage into building an Indian restaurant takeaway curry. You then recook that with your spices and your added ingredients, and then you can knock the curries out in around 10, 15 minutes each time, because the base gravy, you do quite a lot of it. It's like 6 or 7 litres a time, and then you can freeze that.
That's what I was just about to say. We've got loads in the freezer. Nick and Julie have texted a little bit earlier on saying, I tried Al's curry recipe. It's the best I've ever made. Base gravy did smell the house out for a couple of days, but well worth it, they said.
Well, everybody in my area, Molly, walks past the house and they're all looking for an Indian takeaway.
It is so authentic. It is. Well, it is your tagline, restaurant quality. You would never ever, if someone blindfolded someone, you would never tell that wasn't a takeaway. It's spot on, and of course, yours is a very, very healthy version too.
It's predominantly vegetables, isn't it? I mean, onions and ginger and garlic and peppers. The only part that you could consider unhealthy is oil. But then when you consider how many portions base gravy will be served out to, it becomes a minuscule amount. And oil doesn't have to be unhealthy. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could use olive oil, vegetable oil, but you can control those things. And that's what's great about the channel. You can change things up here and there to suit your own taste. I did a tofu tikka risala a few weeks ago for John Robbins.
We've had a risala.
Yeah, John Robbins, BBC Radio 5 Live, he contacted me, and that was done for him because he requested it on the station.
Yes. Yeah, we followed that one at home. That was really good. Yeah, you were on 5 Live not too long ago, weren't you?
Yeah, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And I think since then, an awful lot of people, because obviously that's national radio, an awful lot of people have been logging on. But you've been doing it for, 6 or 7 years on YouTube?
Yeah, it's been quite a while. I mean, it takes a long time, Molly, to be discovered. I mean, first of all, who's searching for, base gravy and Indian restaurants? But word gets round. It's a bit like coronavirus. One person gets it, and it catches exponentially.
I suppose that is an analogy. Yes, it absolutely is.
Lockdown was very kind to me. During lockdown, people stuck at home and they had to watch my videos.
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah, people, we know, not just Indian food, all sorts of cuisine. So many people, same as gardening, because we do the phone in at 2 o'clock. Yeah. So many people taking up new things, trying new things at home. And your videos, as I say, got millions of hits now. How do you feel about that? Are you surprised it's all taken off so quickly?
Well, it was excellent. I mean, it's really good news. Out of a bad situation, something good has happened for me and probably all other YouTubers. It makes it feel worthwhile when you're playing out to a bigger audience, because there's a lot more of you to please, and it motivates you, to put more content out. There's still more videos to come. There's lots more to come. Next one's going to be a chicken doppiaza, and I think the jalfrezi needs a bit of a revisit. Very popular curry, but it can be even better than my first video.
What's your favourite curry, Al?
It's Probably a dansack. I do love a king prawn dansack. I think the lentils just add something to the gravy, although while you're eating it, you're not thinking lentils, you're just thinking beautiful gravy with lots of king prawns or chicken tigre. And that's closely followed by a garlic chili chicken.
Oh, that's, apart from the chicken, because I'm veggie, that sounds nice. Garlic chili, that sounds nice.
Yeah, I just love garlic.
All based on the base gravy.
That's right. And if you do the mixed powder as well as your curry powder, you would then be more reminded of that taste you get in an Indian restaurant. I hadn't used mixed powder for a long time, Molly, only because I wanted to make the videos as simple for the audience as possible and not to overcomplicate. But as time's gone on, I've introduced it. So it's a learning curve for the viewers, you know.
Well, you do have to, I'm only saying it from my experience and my husband's, that a little bit of time, effort and stuff has to be put in. Like, we went to the most fabulous Asian supermarket. Oh my goodness, it was like a day out in itself. All the stuff getting in, all the different spices and this and that and the other, and some of the brilliant big pots and pans to cook with. But once you've got everything, it's not that time consuming at home. You just need to put a bit of prep in to start making Indian food, don't you?
That's right. Like I said, you can turn the curries out in around 10 minutes. People always asking me, oh, I've got a family of 4 or 5, what do I do to upscale? I would always say cook singles or doubles because the bigger the curry gets, the more prone to error you are. Because you're caramelising the base gravy, you don't want to put a ton of spices in, sometimes less is more. And if you do singles like you get in an Indian restaurant, when you order curry done in a single pan or at most a double, you can keep faithful to the recipe that way.
What's next for you as a final question? Oh, there's you.
I think... it's me in the background.
Now what's going on here? Hang on, let me just pause you. What's next for you as far with all your millions of hits now? What does the rest of 2020 hold?
Yeah, more videos, more social media, growing the social media community, and eventually a book. I think everybody needs and wants a book.
Oh yes,
so
just in time for Christmas.
Curry kitchen book.
Just in time for Christmas, one would imagine. Oh nice. Well, you deserve it. The amount of work you put in. Thank you on behalf of the Green household. We have adored your curries since they were discovered a couple of months ago. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. It's been great talking to you, Molly. Great show, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure having you on. Enjoy the rest of your mini break in Brighton. What will you be doing? Are the lanes and stuff open, or are you just going to hit the beach a couple of times?
It feels pretty much normal down here, to be honest, Molly. Everywhere's open. I had a Wagamama's last night. I had curry the night before that. But you know, the curries just aren't as good as mine.
I was going to say, do you compare and go, nah, mate, I could bosh one out a lot better than this?
I do that all the time.